If you need some industrial or warehouse space in Cleveland, Ohio, John here can help you. John, you're from Hannah?
I am, Hannah Commercial.
And you help folks find the kind of properties they need for their business.
I do.
And maybe we talk about how do you do that? Like, where do you start to find the right, piece of property they need?
Well, it starts with a fair amount of questions for myself, actually, based on their business needs and their current or future needs. Square footage is a typical good determining factor. So how many square feet do you need? How many doors? How many drive-in doors? How many do you need a truck high door? And what are your height requirements? How high are you storing any of your product? And how much office space do you need? Do you need a little? Do you need a fair? How many private offices do you need? There are lots of intricate questions that need to be answered. And then once I do that, now I can pare down the list of available properties and present you with or the customer with a list of available.
It's pretty nice. And
facilities that are on the market.
I have to imagine you've worked with a lot of different types of industries and such. So
yes.
Do you have sort of a sense of the kind of things they worry about?
I do. As being a former business owner myself and purchasing and owning several properties, I have a very fine-tuned experience in this regard. So I know the right questions to ask and make sure that we're placing them in the right.
Because you're bringing up some stuff that I probably would have thought about, like what kind of doors you need and how many doors you need.
Exactly.
Sure, yeah.
Well, and one of the other nice things too is that a fair amount of people, you may buy or rent for what you think you need, but you expand into it. So it makes a difference you may think you need 5,000 square feet now, but once you get into it,
you realize
you need more, and it's too late. You've already purchased or you've already rented.
That's interesting too.
So you need to mentally prepare yourself to buy or get into some space that's larger than you need right now, but you're able to grow your business into it.
Are there any businesses that they know they're going to have to really grow big in 5 years? So are any of these properties expandable?
That's another good point. Depending on whether you're purchasing or renting, you want to make sure that the tenant or the landlord has space for you to grow into, or if you're buying a building, that it has the land and the available space for you to do additions or add on to the building.
And when you find the property, when you get the information and find the right property or properties to go through it, what are the next steps? Are you talking to the owner of the property? How do you work?
Typically, what I'll do is once we've got the parameters set, I'll do a search of all available properties that I think are in the geographic area that you're looking. Send those over to you. Then we got brochures, and then typically what we'll do is then discuss budgeting, pricing, what your limits are in that regard, and then typically do in-person site tours of each of the facilities to get a real, nuts and bolts understanding of what you're going to purchase or what you would be leasing.
I'm curious, who typically goes on those site? The owner? Is it the engineers they have going? The people are going to be working in there?
It depends on the industry, but typically it's owner, general manager, operations manager.
Okay. Yeah.
Fleet manager. Just depends on helps running the business to make sure that you have enough space to do what you need to do, depending on your industries.
And obviously, location is important. Particularly, I have to imagine, because when they're building something, it's got to get somewhere.
Exactly. So its location, its geographic locale to interstate highways and your customer base is also important, because if you're paying people to drive to your customers, you want to be as close as possible. And then in the same regard, in terms of your employees, you don't want to ask your employees to drive an hour to work every day when they're all necessary. They're in, let's say, the city of Cleveland, and then you move your business out to Akron or Canton. Now you've created some issues that you probably don't want.
So there's a whole lot you got to think of, other than just what are the dimensions of this big box you need. Well, if you need the right realtor, I can recommend John here.
Thank you.
Hey, what would be the first good step if somebody's watching right now and has a need?
I just pick up the phone and call me, 330-958-7291, or you're welcome to go to my website, john-lubinski.com.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.